Okay. So yesterday we were pondering on this. Let me just close this window. Yeah. So I'll just read up what we had discussed yesterday. Any variations occurs in its expression, thus, which with each successive generation it becomes more robust and refined. So now we are talking about understanding and how every variation will only be more refined and more robust. The path of righteousness keeps becoming ever sharper, more accessible. This is necessary for all humans. Hence, only a human possessing the understanding can correctly impart their wisdom to the succeeding generation, thus finding satisfaction for themselves and for the future generation. So, yes, we stopped yesterday here. It was a good place to speak on. And then we also understood that because it is wisdom that is like if you are practicing it and you will be practicing the right things, then it will keep on transferring to the next generation. Otherwise, there will be no succeeding of that in the parampara or in the sanskar. So, we'll just continue now from there. Humans are sanskar conforming units. Sanskar is combined form of understanding, honesty, responsibility, and participation. So I think this is just this sentence itself. It speaks volumes. Let me just highlight it. And yeah, so this means humans are sanskar conforming units. So basically, we like to combine with sanskar. We like to be understanding. We like to be honest. We like to take responsibility and participation in something. Um, Indeed, if this is to be understood, we can see that even the youth of today, if they are not given an opportunity, they will still produce, and in the sense they will produce some sort of gang or they will join some sort of terrorism group where they are having this the collectiveness or feeling with some collection of people. They would like to be responsible for something. They would like to take the responsibility that we are the keepers of truth or we are the saviors of the world, and this is the responsibility that they have to go out and kill some people who are not in that line of their thought. So we are seeing that they, even humans who are on the wrong path also, they are still performing to the sanskars that are described here in just big headings, like they have to be understanding, they have to be honest, responsible, and participate in some sort of production or participate in some sort of activity. So I think this is a very beautiful way of how the philosophy can be incorporated. And once we understand, we will want to honestly live it or live with it, and we will take responsibility of doing the right thing and participate in its action. So this is also very important, that once we are resolved, we will not only just be doing our thing, but we will be participating. The last point is said to be participating in um, the carrying forward of the actions, or rather the activities that are needed to evidence coexistence. So yeah, even in today's age, I think if we look at it, there is so many projects that are working in the third world countries. For example, they have to build check dams. They have also done some projects here, like the Pani, what is it, the Pani NGO or something like that, that Amir Khan was conducting. A lot of people combined together their efforts, and they were told that, look, we have to save water, in the sense we have to build check dams or we have to build ponds and all these kind of things. So once that kind of understanding was imparted on the locals or on the peoples who are in the village, they actually got together and really did some work without any pay, and they did it for the for the village at least, that no, we will do this, we will save the water, we will let it precipitate in the ground, because that's how the rainwater should be. We should slow down its flow and let it percolate in the ground. And they did a lot of work because of that. So again, understanding it, the immensity of this darshan can also be uh, a very good motive for the people who are going to understand it, because they will take grave responsibilities in the future, and also participate in the actions that are needed in the same. Since wrongs are not acceptable to anyone, they do not become sanskar. So again, we are also clarified here. It is not acceptable to anyone, and by anyone it means the person who is doing it also. They themselves, they will feel that I am doing something wrong, so they will not carry it forward with their children, or they'll not tell their children to carry it forward. So this is another very important sentence. We will always have the carrying forward of the right things, basically. The wrong things will be not be acceptable, and hence the sanskar of it. Now, basically, sanskar means the heritage or the values are not carried forward within the generation to the next generation. So you can sum up sanskar in the sense, vaguely, it means carrying forward of the values. So that is what it means by sanskar. But yeah, if you would like to add, you can give a hint also if you are having a better definition of sanskar.
No, Bhaiya, you are absolutely right.
Hmm.
When here we are talking about sanskar, it
Hmm.
means we are talking about positive thing,
Hmm.
nothing negative. Sanskar means, like it has been written in the previous line,
Hmm.
understanding, honesty, responsibility, and participation.
Hmm.
So that is why it is something positive, and
Hmm.
humans are sanskar confirming units.
Hmm.
So this is very much clear, and
Hmm.
nothing to add.
बढ़िया.
Simply, it is something positive is there when we are
Hmm.
talking about sanskar,
Hmm.
nothing negative.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I think that is a beacon of hope, because when we look at it, the idealism has no sense of commitment for the people who are ill, except for doing war with them. And in fact, the materialistic people also are in the same boat. Like, if there is some evil who have conducted some evils, then we will just build jails for them and prisons for them, and they will rot in there and they will die, and that's how we deal, that's how the materialistic people will deal with the ad hoc people, or the people who are not in line with societal norms. Simple things like robberies, and a person gets a very big, जिसको कहते हैं ना, धब्बा लग जाता है उसकी जिंदगी का. They are not able to get the jobs, they are not able to go in normal society after that they have visited the jail. So this is indeed a very hopeful sentence, that it doesn't go on. A person can repent, and it can actually become in the right path once the understanding is there. And even the person who has done the wrong has done it so understandingly that he or she was doing something right. So somewhere down the line, the understanding was not clear to them. They are still in the animalistic mindsets. They just want to do the thieves usually take small things, but there are also big thieves, in the hiding in the open daylight. We are also not able to talk about it, and it is not necessary to talk about it even. But the point is that all these people are doing what they're doing, understanding it, that it is right, or is it's okay, everybody is doing it, let me do it also. If you want to survive, this is what you have to do this. I know, if you want to survive, you have to give bribes, and you have to give this kind of incentives, and then they will person will do the work for you, and it has become a norm. So that is one more thing that the wrong understanding is bringing about in the world of today. So yeah, I'll just continue. No one accepts wrongs but remains ensnared by them. So basically, trapped by them. Even if a person has committed 1,000 wrongs, those wrongs remain unacceptable to them, because wrongs are not acceptable to anyone. No one passes them on to the next generation. Okay, so it's just again repeating what we have earlier read. Mm. we are just feeling trapped. No one accepts wrongs but remains ensnared by them. So that's again is another point that we feel trapped. We are feeling that we are not able to perform or to do our duty full heartedly because of the wrong understanding or doing the wrong thing.
Bhaiya,
Basically.
I remember one thing
Mm,
uh, related to this particular line.
mm,
I read a book, Main Hi Kyun. It's a very good book. I will try to send it to you.
mm,
Uh, it says that when you are traveling in a train without ticket, you are always worried. You are always tensed that some the ticket collector may come anytime. So your journey cannot be. It's the same in the life. If you are doing something wrong, you cannot be happy. Nah,
mm,
you cannot be happy living
mm,
in that particular life. So
mm,
that sentence has a great meaning, and this
mm,
is the similar thing written here, that uh, no one accepts wrongs but remains ensnared by them. So
mm,
this is I just immediately go to that particular line in that book.
mm,
When you are traveling without ticket,
mm,
then what happens is that you are always tensed, you are always worried,
mm,
and you cannot you cannot travel peacefully. The same is the situation in this particular life. When a
mm.
person is earning through wrong means, he cannot be happy. He may look happy, but he may not be happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the terrorists, if you
Mm,
go to see, they are actually just aiming to the next generation only.
mm,
They are passing that um, the wrongs to the next generation. So it's
mm,
probably also, I feel, sometimes it's they don't know this is wrong, or they don't
ah,
know the way of doing it rightly, like to put
mm,
their, like suppose they have some faith or fanaticism in
mm,
one's religion or for a
mm,
place.
mm,
So probably it is not they don't know the correct way except
mm,
war,
mm,
because that's how it's been taught. If you need something, a steal, do whatever you want.
mm,
सब दाम दंड भेद सब निकाल के you get
Mhm.
it done.
mm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
Mhm.
also was one of the wrongs people sometimes don't know because
mm,
they don't know the right,
yeah,
maybe.
They have been brainwashed that whatever you do, this is for dharma.
yeah,
If you will die, you will get the heaven.
right.
These kind of things have been told to them, and
Mm,
they don't use their own mind. They don't use their own understanding. That
mm,
is why they are doing like that. Otherwise, if
mm,
they have their own understanding,
mm.
Hmm.
resolution, then they will not do that.
Hmm.
In fact, I would say
Hmm.
that they are not even using their understanding. They are not allowed to, or rather, they are choosing those kids or choosing those people who are very, very, like, how do you say it, low IQ, maybe. Because we have written so many essays and we are doing that work right now of checking the essays. The kids who are at a very tender age of 13, 14 are able to come up with such good words, and
Hmm.
basically, that is some good logic that they are understanding with. And now, if we look at the terrorists, also the fanatics and all those are most probably a little bit older than that. So it clearly
Hmm.
means that their intellect or intellectual capacity has been like, what I think is that the family, the foundation of the family is weak of these old terrorists that are coming out, because somehow they want to feel belonged, and when they don't get in the family, they'll try to look for it in these sort of extremist groups. I'm again
Hmm.
reminded of this small Swahili proverb, which means that if you don't give the warmth to the children in their tender age, they will come and burn your village to feel that warmth. In essence, what it means is, if the children who are young and are not given the warmth from the whole village, this is not about the parents only, I'm talking about the whole village giving the warmth to the young kids, then the kids will come back as adults and burn down the village and feel the warmth like that. So, I
Hmm.
mean, imagine this is a tribal uh, poem, not a poem, but just a fable, and this is what has been experienced at that time. Now, this is thousands of years old. This fable is thousands of years old. So clearly, it applies to terrorists also. They are just trying to find some sort of the word resolution is is coerced in their minds. It is put in the wrong fingerprint. So to them, they feel that I have a leader. That leader is saying that if you do this and this, you will be fighting for dharma. And I am also below that dharma, and I am following that thing only. It's just that I'm a little older than you, so I am now your father figure. You do what I say, and then that's what they do, because they suddenly find the father figure which they were always missing. Now they see it in this radical who is the terrorist or the leader of the ring or whatever it is. So the moral of the story is that they want to feel the right things, but they're looking at the wrong places. It is just similar to what the whole world is doing actually. The whole world is running after respect, they're running after uh, possessions just because to get the respect, you know. They run out of with money, they run out of with मान पद के साथ जुड़ते हैं, मान पैसों से जुड़ता है. So it is a similar thing, only that these people are just doing it extremely. And in that the feeling of that that they have to suffer right now, then they will get the heaven, is always a promising thing, because they have seen suffering all their life. So to them, to suffer a little more and then achieve something right in the future, it is always a promise that is
The one true faith is the this line, the tradition. Thus, the tradition of
hmm,
senselessness does not form. तो परंपरा गलत की होगी ही नहीं, सही
hmm,
की अभी नहीं तो कभी भी बनेगी ही, बट
hmm,
गलत की कभी परंपरा बनेगी नहीं. ये एक आश्वस्ति की बात है. दैट इज
हाँ. बिकॉज परंपरा ऑफ सही तो अभी तक मिली ही नहीं थी ना किसी को. आई मीन देवर पीपल वर लुकिंग फॉर द राइट थिंग्स, को एग्जिस्टेंस, एंड इट इज जस्ट बीन रिसेंटली व्हाट डू वी से डिस्कवर्ड. And that is why it is taking a little more time. But rightfully it is at the peak of industrial age, at the peak of capitalism, at the peak of idealism having its own uh, uh, fallbacks. So at this point only that the darshan had to come, and I think it is the right way. And why I'm saying is it is the right way is because there is nothing else which is left. Because we are talking about space, we are talking about atoms, they are submerged, surrounded, and soaked in space, and that's how they are conforming to their integrity. We talked about how the plants are conforming to their integrity, the animals are conforming to the integrity, and matter indeed also. So everything has its innate nature and innate conformities, and this is the beauty of this darshan, that it is not leaving anything out, you know. And indeed, it is saying that there are planets like this out there, which are also evolved and more so evolved than ours also. So this again also goes out to say that this is not the only planet which has life. It has there are millions of lives. There are millions of living entities like this, and some of them in the primary stage, the others in the animal stage, the others even beyond the human stage. Malab, they are coexisting. Now the humans are coexisting with each other. So that is the inspiration basically. And that's what Babaji was also trying to say, that if in this earth coexistence is not achieved, then there is a line that he has mentioned once, that then what I'll have to do, I'll have to come back here again and try to do it again, to teach the people coexistence. But obviously, let's hope that we will achieve that stage, and we will also live by that realizations, because it is very clear, it is transparent. Everything that is written here, we can check within ourselves, and this is the beauty. And yeah, so until now, as you said, thus the tradition of senselessness, wrongs does not form. Until now, we are still searching for the right thing. That is what the proof is. If we had found the right thing, we would all be following that. We would be all become the that Tata Ambani, whatever it is. But we are not that. We are not after that. We are still looking at them. There is something amiss with them also. We see this. There are problems with them also. So now we are look like, okay, we will lose our logic and we'll find that right thing. And I believe that we have achieved that point. Yes. So, hmm. Bhaiya, would you like to read or add
Yes,
something?
yes, I can. Yes, I can read.
Okay.
So, what we have concluded so far in these two, three lines is that sanskar is of a positive thing.
Hmm.
And if it is not there, we can't say that something negative is there. Rather, we can say the sanskar is missing in someone. That is
Hmm.
what we can say. Otherwise, sanskar means that.
Ah,
all the
the
understanding, honesty, responsibility, and participation.
right.
So if it is not there, you
Mm.
can't. We can't say that this some negative words we can't use.
Ah.
Rather, we can say it is not there. Thus,
Mm.
it's that person or is not following the sanskars or needs to learn the sanskars.
Mm.
Okay, I can continue further.
Great. Yes, yes.
These examples lead to the conclusion that understanding is the foundation of tradition. The focal point for understanding is the identicality of human consciousness among humans. So, very beautifully it is written. So,
Mm.
what is the foundation of this tradition? Is understanding. And the understanding of what? It is the human consciousness among humans.
Mm.
So, Manviyata, that is very important. Human consciousness. So,
Mm.
once that person will learn, even a terrorist, which Didi is mentioning, will
Mm.
not do that. Once he
Mm.
understand what is Manviyata,
Mm.
स्वधन स्वनारी स्वपुरुष है ना
Mm.
दयापूर्ण व्यवहार so if there is a dayaपूर्ण व्यवहार how can a person do something wrong you
Mm.
that person cannot do but unless he under or she understands that
Mm.
that person will keep on committing the mistakes.
Mm.
The focus of identicality is Jeevan, constitutional completeness, and inexhaustible strengths and powers are identicalities in every Jeevan.
Mm.
The focus of identicality is Jeevan, constitutional completeness,
Mm.
and inexhaustible strengths and powers are the identicalities in every Jeevan. It's
Mm.
the possibility or the potential is in every Jeevan.
Everyone, right.
Na? It
Mm.
is not developed, consciousness is not developed, that is another issue. But the
Mm.
potential is there.
Mm.
Everyone can understand the human consciousness.
Mm.
Everyone can understand all those aspects which leads to human consciousness.
Mm.
So the Jivan or the consciousness has those kinds of potential, strengths, and powers. It
Mm.
is identical to everyone. Everyone has that potential.
Mm. Right.
Regardless of the extent of hope, thought, or desire, my capacity for them remains intact. Regardless of extent of hope, thought, or desire, my capacity for them remains intact. The inexhaustible strength and powers in Jivan couldn't exist if its constitution were subject to change. The
Mm.
constitution is fixed.
Mm.
Only thing is, a person needs to
Realize.
develop the conscious, realize the
Mm.
yes. So all those 10 kriyas, the 10
Mm.
activities that person has to achieve or
Right.
can achieve, can
Right.
achieve. The possibility is always there. Not achieving, that is another issue. We
Mm.
all are facing those issues that
Mm.
we are deliberation is only on the basis of pleasure, profit, and health. Those
Mm.
are the things. Once it will start with justice, dharma, or orderliness, and truth, then we will be getting those or achieving those
Mm.
potential and realization.
Mm. I think
Anything you want to add? Yes, yes,
I
Bhaiya.
just wanted to add even the gravity it was discovered. Now you look at the word discover, it means the removal of cover, discovered. You know. So if
Hmm.
we look at the word also at the fundamental word level also, it means that we have removed the cover. आवरण था उसके पीछे या उसके आगे वो हट गया.
Hmm.
The cover has been off. So now the
Hmm.
gravity has been discovered. It was there all
Hmm.
along, but suddenly Newton has discovered the gravity. So I
Hmm.
just thought of mentioning that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Or you can say randomness is there unless we don't know that particular principle.
Huh.
Once we know that principle, there is no randomness.
The randomness is just a escape, I think.
Hmm.
At this day and age, I think randomness is even publicized by scientists still. But this it
Hmm.
should be. I mean, it's amazing. These people are in a very high post and they are being paid so highly, but still they believe in randomness so much. And here we
Hmm.
are, normally people. We are talking about orderliness in the
Hmm.
atoms, orderliness in the plants, animals, and
Hmm.
humans. So yeah, it is just a sarcastic way of saying that where is the flow
Hmm.
of energy is actually going, and
Hmm.
how the
Hmm.
rightful or justification is needed
Hmm.
very desperately for the world. Yes.
Hmm.
But I would like
The
to have the clarity on this, the inexhaustible strengths and powers in Jeevan. couldn't exist if its constitution were subject to change.
Huh.
You can just
I think it's in Hindi. It said Ashakti Bal,
अक्षय
something.
बल और शक्तियां जीवन की जो है,
हाँ.
Hmm.
तो वो कह रहे हैं couldn't exist if it's constant, मतलब अगर गठन पूर्ण नहीं होता और वो अगर
Hmm.
चेंज
हाँ,
Right. Right.
बिल्कुल ठीक है।
चेंज नहीं होती ऐसे, पर मैं वो नहीं समझ पा रही हूँ क्यों इस तरह से, मतलब।
हाँ, इसमें what I am able to understand is
Hmm.
what Babaji is indicating is that once you have the Gatan Purnta, that is the complete atom,
हम्म
that is why you have all those kind of inexhaustible strengths and powers. If this Gatan Purnta or the complete atom wouldn't be there, then there may be possibility that you may not have those kind of inexhaustible strengths and power. Since it is complete, if you see the constitution of the atom, which has been shared in the group by
हम्म
someone study by the name study, they are making the
हम्म
chart. If you see, the constitution is like that. Everyone has all five domains like man, vritti, chit, buddhi, and atma.
हम्म
So all fives are there, constitutionally there, and then 10 activities, the possibility of 10 activities is there. So that potential is already there in every Jeevan.
Hmm.
That is why
हम्म
the strengths and powers are told to be inexhaustible.
Hmm.
You can use those kinds of strengths and power. यानी स्थिति गति की बात जो हम करते हैं,
Hmm.
everyone has the potential. Now, how much potential you are using or I am using, that is another issue. Otherwise, potential is there.
Hmm.
I hope I am able. I'm trying to explain.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can also, or Shivangi can also, Vidya can also
Yeah.
add to that. Yes.
I would actually be open to others trying to explain also. Because I'm
Hmm.
also trying to understand that when it says the Jivan is all powerful or it has a lot of strength,
Hmm.
I think it derives from the point of view that it has the immense capacity to understand. That's what I'm
Hmm.
understanding from this. Because
Yes.
this is not
Yes.
there in the animals, definitely.
Yes.
That's the major
Hmm.
difference that the Jivan is able to understand in the human.
Hmm.
It is able to understand and it can how do I say it, correlate with everything else and understand every order how it functions and yeah, indeed, even the science also speaks of this that we are just using maybe 1 or 2% or 10% at max. So maybe it is linked with that
Is
that
it also
thing.
linked to the nirantarta? Probably. जो
Mm.
the thing is, the swabhava of atma is anand, and
Mm.
man is shanti. So,
Mm.
is it those things which comes after the five? I think strengths is जो पांच अक्षय बल और शक्तियां कहते हैं, वो इंद्रिया सापेक्ष और ऐसे हैं। मैं भूल गई हूँ।
नहीं
Mm.
वो
नहीं,
पांच
इंद्रिय सापेक्ष नहीं है. What I have understood is that the Jeevan atom, which is constitutionally complete, has five domains, like I just mentioned,
हम्म
in the form
हम्म
of Man, Vritti, Chit, and Buddhi and Atma.
हम्म
And there can be five activities, 10 activities. Five activities are called which are static, and five are called which are dynamic. So
हम्म
both keeps on changing in every person. But there is a possibility that a person can achieve all those 10 activities, can reach up to the atmic stage. But actually, every person is not having all those or realization as of now.
Mm.
Some, like Babaji said, he got the realization. Others can try. The potential is there. Babaji is saying everyone can do that. You can do that. I can do that. For example, if I see my life, in my life, I am understanding these points now, and I am feeling a bit happy, and my happiness is increasing every day. But
Mm.
this was not the state earlier. Earlier I was also running after the money. I thought my if I earn more, my designation is good, then I will get the respect, which
Mm.
is not the reason I get the appreciation or I get the samman or respect. That the Respect is because of the human consciousness, human conduct, not because of this post. They are
Mm,
temporary. Post is temporary. Money is temporary. So you cannot achieve those. And moreover,
No,
you inside you are not feeling happy. Because what's happening while in those states, inside you are not happy. But
mm,
once you have the clarity of things which is your potential, then you
mm,
start feeling happiness inside. Then
mm,
a wonderful thing is keeps on happening inside you. Then it may or may not come on your face, but you see now you are having less friction with others. Earlier you were having a lot of friction with others.
mm,
Na? Now the friction is reducing.
mm,
It's a kind of lubricating effect, I can say.
mm,
The friction is reduced now. So
Bhaiya,
that is
and
the
in the
yes,
other
yes,
way,
Neil.
if the constitution would have changed, suppose it was not complete and
mm,
it would
Hmm.
have changed, then how to take this, the inexhaustible wouldn't exist? How would you take this sentence as? Like, suppose if the constitution was not this as it is in every Jeevan,
mm.
suppose it would have changed, then what would have happened? The potential would be there. So that potential is there due to this constitution. That's what they are trying to say.
Hmm.
I think what it means when if it is not complete is because basically it is an atom, right? And now
Mm,
the atom has a central nucleus which is of a single particle. But if
mm,
it was what is it called? What is the word you said? Incomplete. Then
mm,
obviously it would behave just like an atom. It would not have so
Hmm.
much of understanding power, nor would it have ability to evidence itself, nor would it be able to be honest. All these things that are sanskar of the Jeevan. Here we are saying that is understanding, honest, responsibility, and participating. So I don't think it will just be like matter. It has an
Hmm.
existence. It is not aware. It is not. Maybe it is interacting with something similar, but it simply, if it is an atom, it will be just like an atom. There is no purpose to it except for just to exist. But now, if
हाँ,
give
things,
an
जैसे
example, Bhaiya. If these are the you take the inert,
Hmm.
like what I'm saying is like lithium or uranium.
Huh,
Now,
huh,
Hmm.
incomplete atoms, right?
huh, huh,
Their power, if you go to see, of course it goes to destruction as well, but they
hmm,
have that power within them. So
hmm,
what makes this Jeevan, of course I'm not comparing the matter and the knowledge order, I'm not comparing it that way, I'm comparing with the constitution of the atom.
hmm,
So can you just explain, because I'm little weak in science, I'm not able to understand this,
huh.
or is it
Hmm.
not necessary to understand and we can go ahead? I'm not aware of that.
Maybe.
If we can just go ahead with this, I don't mind also.
I think we have discussed this in a previous session. What happens with the inert gases? If you see or Google it, inert gases, although the name is inert, but they still can react. If you see, they have made certain products, and
Hmm,
Hmm,
moreover, some like in this constitutional item,
hmm,
this has only one ansh in the or one particle in the nucleus, which
hmm.
hmm,
is which is not the case in inert gases.
Right.
correct.
So inert gases have certain weight, they
Hmm,
have certain mass, but
hmm,
here it is said it is having almost no mass or nothing. And
hmm,
moreover, it is constitutionally complete means वो जैसे इसके स्ट्रक्चर में if you see 2 8 18 32 पूरा
Hmm,
स्ट्रक्चर कंप्लीट है
hmm,
60
correct.
plus 1 inside 61. This
hmm,
is
Hmm,
unique,
hmm,
which this is proposed by Babaji. I'm not saying that this I have seen this or I have understood.
hmm,
Unless I have another phenomena, I have one day before I have told, unless I know something else about the structure of this particular consciousness, I believe this is the structure. Na?
correct.
Tomorrow, if I do some research, you do some research, we come up with better ideas. Unless we have this, we are expecting or we are taking it that this is the structure, and based on that, we are checking our behavior and things, and they are matching. They look to be yes, it has the potential. I can feel it has the potential.
hmm,
And
Right.
even if you don't eat anything, your body may feel tired, but your mind don't get tired. In Kumbh, there was a sadhu who has not eaten or taken anything for the last 70 80 years.
Mm.
Nothing
Hmm.
he that sadhu is taking, but still he is able to talk, he is able to react, and he is able to do everything. So what, from where this energy is coming? It's
I
very
think
surprising. Yes, bhaiya.
I think I'm remembering something. Even Shivangi had unmuted. Maybe she wants to add. But I just wanted to mention Babaji had said that something that we are able to think, we are not able to do. And what we are doing also will not be able to consume. So maybe this is linking with that. The Jivan has an infinite ability to think. Maybe the capacity to think is the one which is saying that Akshay Bal hai.
You are right, probably because the previous line, you see, if you connect the whole paragraph, it is said,
Mm,
regardless of the extent of hope, thought, or desire, my capacity for them remains intact.
mm,
For them means the
mm,
inexhaustible strengths and powers.
mm. Yeah. So
Asha Vichar, I think.
mm. So
Hmm.
basically, we are also, and another one more thing that is that when we are interacting with the Jivan, we are seeing that as the clarity comes to us, then we are starting to think from the man, then the vritti, then the chitta. So as we are going clarity and deeper, the signal is going deeper and deeper, and then coming back to us from that protocol. And once it has reached towards the Atman, then we can say that now the street is not from the outside to the inside, but rather from the inside, from the Atman towards the outside. So, am I able to explain? Right now, what is happening is the seat of the king is being taken over by the Indriyas or by the Manna or by the Vrittiya. And then, even if we go even higher, then the Chitta, it is taken over as the king. Then, nobody is reached to the Atman level, or nobody is sending the signal from the Atman level towards the outside the shells. So here, what we are saying is that when we have clarified our understanding, what that will be evidencing is that the things will flow from the center towards the out. I'm just linking the things now, and I just remembered this, so I thought of sharing.
Hmm.
Maybe
Like in the center it is atma. I think Shivangi wants to say something.
yes.
Yes, I just wanted to say that it says that the Jeevan has inexhaustible strengths and powers, and I just thought of the literal meaning of the sentence.
Mm,
I think it just means that whenever we say Jeevan, it does not mean that Jeevan for one person versus for another person. And
mm,
we are talking about the Jeevan of a human,
mm,
right?
mm,
So, in that case, every human has inexhaustible strength and powers because their Jeevan does so. And the
mm,
Jeevan will have all the मन वृत्ति चित बुद्धि आत्मा
mm,
और उनसे related जो उनकी बल और शक्तियां हैं, they
mm,
will be present in everybody. Since
mm,
there is
Hmm.
uniformity in that,
mm,
that is why they will not change from one person to another. That is how
Hmm.
everybody will have Akshay Bal Shakti. We are not different at the
mm,
core. I think
mm.
that is what it means.
Right.
And like what नीलम दीदी वो सेइंग कि
Mm,
अलग अलग एटम्स का अलग अलग स्ट्रक्चर होता है,
mm,
बट जीवन में एक मानव का जीवन दूसरे मानव के जीवन से भिन्न नहीं होता है ना.
mm,
Hmm.
द ओनली
mm,
डिफरेंस
mm,
एग्जिस्ट इन हाउ मेनी शक्तियां या जो अभी आप लोग कह रहे थे दैट विच एवर इज इन द सेंटर ऑफ द डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड द लिविंग.
mm.
That is the point. If
Right.
somebody
Hmm.
is able to make the Atma the center and
Mm,
live according to the Atma, then they will live like a full human being. But
coexistence,
if
yes.
somebody is unable to do that, then they will not be able to. They'll either be animalistic behavior रहेगा,
Mm,
या फिर उनका वो
Hmm.
मतलब पशु मानव या वो
mm,
वाला क्रूर अक्रूर उस
Hmm.
तरह वाला बिहेवियर रहेगा ऐसा.
right. Right, right,
So
right.
only there like
बढ़िया.
Mm. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, very nicely put,
Mm,
and I think yes, that
mm,
satisfies my question also. Yes,
mm.
thank
Hmm.
you.
And
Yes.
moreover, I would like to add here, what do you mean by keeping Atma at the center? So I was reading the book Samvad, and Babaji said, start deliberation on the basis of justice, orderliness, and truth.
Mm,
And a stage will automatically reach that you will be touching your Atma.
mm,
Otherwise, what do you mean by keeping Atma at your center? है ना?
mm,
Only thing is deliberation at as of now it is a kind of selfish deliberation है ना, तुलन जो है वो आधा कर रहे हैं. है ना,
mm,
प्रिय हित लाभ पे कर रहे हैं, दैट तुलन और डेलिब्रेशन शुड स्टार्ट after or you can say then chintan will start automatically once you will start deliberating on the basis of
mm,
justice, orderliness and truth.
mm,
And that if you maintain the continuity of that, you will automatically feel that now you are touching your buddhi, you are touching your atma. So
mm,
that I have understood through that book.
mm. Yeah. And one more sentence I would like to also add to this is that I realize that justice, dharma, and truth, those three things are actually encompassing everything else. So
Yes.
if we think about it, if something is priya to us, that the priya hit labh, right? So now if we look at the profitable thing also, it will also be priya and it will also be hitkari. So
Hmm.
some of us are just stuck at the first thing, what is likable to us. We are stuck at that.
Hmm.
But if we go
Hmm.
beyond it, then what is healthy for us, what is
Hmm.
hitkari for us, then it will
Hmm.
also be healthy. It will also be likable to us. So
Hmm.
when the more deeper we go into it, it is like a layering that the deepest level, which is dharma, which is
Hmm.
nyaya dharma satya, right? So the satya will have all the rest of the five qualities incorporated into that thing. So we
Hmm.
will be farming the right way. That farmed right food will be tasting also good, will be also priya to us, will also be hitkari to us, will also be healthy for us, and will also be grown to the right conformities of all the orders and
Hmm.
etc etc. So that's what I'm trying to
Very
say.
good. What yesterday Shalini Didi was teaching us, I will say she teaches us between 8 to 9 in Hindi.
Hmm.
So, yes, that's what we were discussing the Nyaya. Nyaya means justice, means
Hmm.
Akhand Samaj. So,
Hmm.
whatever, it's not my liking alone. It should
Hmm.
be like Bhaiya is saying, it should be taking into consideration everything,
Hmm.
the right product, the right kind of fertilizer, right kind of everything, you know,
Hmm.
taking care of each and everything. And instead of taking the first yourself, keeping yourself first, keep others as the first.
Hmm.
है ना, जीने दो और जियो. हमने बचपन से आज तक क्या पढ़ा, जियो और जीने दो.
Hmm.
यहाँ बिल्कुल उल्टा कर दिया और बिल्कुल सही कर दिया बाबा जी ने,
Hmm.
जीने दो और जियो ना.
Hmm.
सो दैट इज ए वंडरफुल एस्पेक्ट
Hmm.
एंड दैट कैन encompass everything.
Hmm.
That will be justice, which
Hmm.
is for everyone, for every person,
For
for
every
every entity,
voice.
mutual happiness and mutual prosperity with the
Hmm.
other three forms.
Hmm.
Yes भैया.
Great, great. बढ़िया. Great discussion.
भैया मैं आप ही के ग्रुप में बोलता हूँ, आई यूज टू स्पीक, इन अदर ग्रुप्स आई रिमेन साइलेंट.
Ah, yeah, I actually have learned that the better way. I am actually having bigger ears in this life for that same reason. I keep on telling that to people that even
Hmm.
in my life I was always silent, and actually just recently I have been coming this way of speaking. But yeah,
I
it's good.
think we all four or five of us are comfortable speaking in this group, है ना? So
Uh,
whatever we are learning, whatever we are reading, and whatever we are listening in other groups where
uh,
there are experts or prabodak, then
right.
we are learning from them, and then
Right.
in this group we are expressing. So that while expressing, we each of us or we can correct each other like
Right.
that.
Yeah, we're adding to each other's pools rather. Right. Yeah.
Okay. This is logical reasoning for accepting the constitutional completeness of Jeevan.
Hmm.
The understanding that has been accepted in me is verified through my behavior, work, and participation in systems. So that is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about the constitution of the atom, है ना,
Hmm.
what Babaji has said, but it is being verified through behavior, work, and participation.
Hmm.
So that is a wonderful aspect of understanding those things.
Hmm.
Tomorrow you can come up with a better structure, but that should also match with your behavior, work, and participation in the system.
Hmm.
I have repeatedly verified it in my behavior and work and found that my living is orderly in the form of resolution and prosperity.
Hmm.
However, universal orderliness is yet to be established in human tradition.
Hmm.
Babaji is saying tradition is not there.
Hmm.
Babaji has mentioned in many that before me there were so many people
Hmm.
who had the knowledge, but unfortunately they could not make the tradition. That was only issue. है ना?
Correct.
It was not in education, it was in the form of quotes, it was in the form of sermons, and it was in the form of certain. In education, it was not systematic. That
Mm.
is why Babaji said tradition was not there.
Mm. Yeah.
However, universal orderliness is yet to be established in human tradition.
Mm.
Mm, Should I continue, Bhaiya?
Yes, it is quite apparently clear. Badhiya.
Okay. My
Mm.
living in the form of an indivisible society itself serves as a evidence in human tradition of my having understood reality as it is in the existence, which further enhances realization.
Mm.
This line we can read again. My living in the form of an indivisible society
Akhand Samaj.
itself serves as the evidence in human tradition of my having understood reality as its existence. So,
Mm.
what Babaji has understood existence, that is, it is in coexistence,
Mm.
and that is why he is talking about indivisible society. अखंड समाज की बात कर रहे हैं ना,
Mm.
because of coexistence, which further enhances realization.
Mm.
This realization keeps strengthening
Over time.
over time. This paves the way for realization based living. In
Mm.
conclusion, upon attaining understanding, humans live in orderliness through a realization based approach.
Mm.
तो सारा खेल अंडरस्टैंडिंग का है. The whole story is understanding things in totality, in a holistic view. We
Mm.
should have a holistic view.
Mm. I just wanted
भैया
to add.
रियलाइजेशन या फिर साक्षात्कार बता रहे हैं?
नहीं, रियलाइजेशन अनुभव हो गया.
हाँ,
अनुभव.
करेक्ट, ओके ओके.
realization.
हाँ जी.
Yes. I also wanted to add to the viewers who are going to be joining us maybe in the future. Indivisible society basically means that the human beings is just one undivided family. So basically, what here Babaji is saying with these two words is that the human society, apart from being geographically different places, different castes, different creeds, but we are all human beings, and then human beings have a Jeevan. And as we have discussed above, the Jeevan has a very not similar, but the exact same constituent, and as such, it is not for us to have any sort of like that kind of person will not understand, or any bigotry rather for any other human beings. So if once we are human beings, we can all have the infinite amount of energy and strength to understand and to coexist, and that is an imperative that the humans only possess, apart from other matters that they exhibit their existence with their different attributes and different minglings with other elements and other making other compounds. But the Jivan is something that is every human has a very distinct Jivan, but at the same time with the same constituents. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, we still have 10 minutes. I think we can take one more paragraph.
Hmm.
Hmm.
This paves the way for realization based living. In conclusion, upon attaining understanding, humans live in orderliness through a realization based approach. The
Hmm.
orderliness of the animal order is through species conformance. The biological order is through seed conformance,
Hmm.
and material order is through constitutional conformance.
Hmm. Yeah.
तो रिमेनिंग जो थ्री फॉर्म्स हैं उनकी कन्फर्मेशन कन्फर्मेंस जो है वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट अप्रोच है. दैट इज नॉट संस्कार अनुषंगी. दे आर सीड कन्फर्मेंस,
Hmm.
स्पाइसिस कन्फर्मेंस, है ना,
Ah.
और बायोलॉजिकल
But
एंड कंस्टिट्यूशन कन्फर्मेंस.
बढ़िया.
तो बट ह्यूमन बीइंग इज, यू कैन से, संस्कार कन्फर्मेंस.
बढ़िया.
We can I
Yeah.
should continue.
हाँ.
Yes, we can conclude that. And anyone wants to read, I have.
Uh, we have Shiva. Nilamabi, would you like to read?
Yeah, okay.
हाँ.
Or
Okay.
Shivan wants to read, she, yeah, she
I'll read,
can.
I'll read.
Okay.
We can conclude that understanding is definite and it pertains to living with developed consciousness. The bearer and carrier of understanding is definite.
Hmm.
Therefore, the evidence of understanding is also definite. Jivan itself becomes wise. Jivan is the entity that understands, and the evidence of understanding occurs only within human tradition because the fully developed brain is found only in the human body. The evidence of understanding will not be found in any other animal species. Coexistence encompasses complementariness, evolution, development, progression, development, and awakening. The method of understanding all these points is inherent only in humans.
Hmm.
The potential for this understanding is also inherent only in humans.
Hmm. Right. So
Uh,
again, yeah.
hmm. No, no, I
So
thought.
we can discuss up to this particular point today.
Hmm.
Mhm,
Nah?
mhm.
Hmm.
Right.
So very important lines have been
Hmm.
written here. But
So
yeah, yes, you speak first.
I think we'll just go in the reverse order. The potential for the understanding is also inherent in only in humans. So again, the
Hmm.
highest order is the human. Human is able to
Hmm.
understand, right? That is clear now in our minds. The method for understanding all these points is inherent only in humans, and the
Hmm.
potential also is there. So the method it means I think education, uh,
Hmm.
by evidencing through your behavior. That is one more, the way to evidence it and understand it. And then now, before that, the sentence we go is the evidence of understanding, I'm just highlighted, will not be found in any other animal species. Coexistence encompasses complementariness, uh, evolution, development, progression, development, and awakening. Now, this is a little bit we can discuss on this. Apart from that, the lines before we can go to them also, but this is also again worth discussing. The evidence of understanding will not be found in any other animal species. That is clear. Okay, but coexistence encompasses, so basically coexistence, which is living in harmony with all the other three orders, encompasses complementariness. So that means I think codependence or coexistence or
Purakta. The
Purakta, right?
complement, yeah.
Uh-huh. And evolution again. So this is Vikas kam Vikas, Jagriti kam Jagriti, is it?
Hmm. Yes, yes, Bhaiya.
Hmm.
That is, I think, the development progression.
Okay.
Evolution is the, I think, the Rachanatma, the constitutionally how it is developed. I think that is the thing.
So the atoms will be in the Vikas kam Vikas, and development progression is Jagriti kram Jagriti. So for Jeevan, I think it applies to be Jagriti kam Jagriti, which is development progression, right?
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Or is it,
So
wait,
no,
development awakening?
Jeevan can have qualitative change. है ना?
Hmm.
So that is the difference. That is why it is said for Jeevan
Right.
that it is in the Jagriti Kram and Jagriti can be achieved.
Ah,
Awakening can be achieved. So,
right.
but for other atoms, the second possibility is also there that there can be structural changes can also be there. So
Hmm.
that is the difference. So
Hmm.
here also what I see is that this complete atom becomes even for the animal also. But the
Right.
difference lies in that the brain is not developed. The brain is developed in human beings.
Hmm.
That is why the transaction of the Jivan takes place between brain and the
One.
consciousness.
Right.
So, unless the brain is fully developed, the
Hmm.
transaction may not take place. So, that is why we are not able to see much innovation in the animal
Animal
kingdoms,
kingdom. Right.
whereas that possibility is there in human beings. So, both the things are there in what I can understand from this particular paragraph.
Hmm.
That atom is complete in human beings as well as brain is also equally
Development.
developed.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah,
that.
the evidence of understanding is definite. मतलब see, the barrier and the carrier of understanding is definite. मतलब जीवन की जो understanding की क्षमता है, that is definite. Therefore, the evidence of understanding, is it the fallout they are saying? The evidence, मतलब praman, is it? Is also definite. Means
Huh. Because then your interaction will also be definite, na? It will be almost predictable. It will be not
Hmm.
what is it called? Um, the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, they have a definite in dharma
conduct.
conduct, right? So once this can be evidence through the definite conduct with the humans also.
Hmm.
Once the
And who
understanding.
is the bearer and carrier of the understanding? Why it is written definite? Definite because we have already learned that it is the Jeevan who is the bearer and carrier of understanding,
Right.
which is definite. And
Right.
again, today we have read the structure is of the Jeevan is complete and it is same for everyone. That
Mm.
is why, therefore, the evidence of understanding is definite.
Mm.
So both the things are correlated.
Mm.
Bearer and carrier of understanding is Jeevan, and Jeevan is constitutionally complete in every person.
Mm.
So that is why it is definite.
Yeah. This again is a very good looking for the future. This is a very good point because I think if we look at it at the viewpoint of what we have now, money is actually making it very diverse for diverse economic industries to survive and to flourish. But once we are understood, some of the economies will definitely not exist and some will exist, which are actually evidencing coexistence. So we will not be having so many unnecessarily events on this earth which are detrimental rather and just being pushed because of the money power. So that is also a very good sign to look forward to, that we will all be in definite evidencing it ourselves with definite behavior and conduct, because of understanding. Yeah. We still have 3 minutes.
I think definite here is also connoting to Nirantarta, is it? Because the bearer and the carrier of understanding is definite. Therefore, the evidence of understanding is also definite. Now,
Mm,
suppose the same Jivan in the previous philosophies, whatever was practiced,
mm,
that was definite, the barrier and the carrier of understanding, but the evidence of the understanding was not definite
mm,
in all human beings who
mm.
got those realization.
Yeah.
Is it what I'm trying to? I mean, I'm still Nirantarta could be definite if I'm not mistaken. Definite is not.
I think it comes down to the simple equation where we said that 2 plus 2 is 4. It was never known because that 2 plus 2 is 4 is the equation that is coming from, like, I'm just giving an example. It's coming from the Atma level of understanding. Now, when we are looking at below the levels, below those concentric circles, if you're looking at the Man Vritti Chit, then the answer will always be wrong. And we have always been munching on and, manure, what is it called? Like chewing the cud, which is of the wrong, rather, not seeing
Hmm.
it from the holistic point of view. So that's why we never had the definite acharan also. Everybody has
Hmm.
their own
So
own.
what was happening earlier? Earlier, say idealistic approach. So what was happening? How the people were evidencing? They were becoming saints, or they were doing meditation, samadhi. And what was the proof? There was no proof. है ना? Whether a person has got the salvation or not, moksha se mila ya nahi mila, there was no proof. There was no evidence. But here, once you understand the coexistence and you live according to that, that itself is the evidence. The person is so resolute
Mm,
that he can evidence it in his human consciousness or conduct. So that possibility is now we can see. Earlier, the approach was wrong and
mm.
very individualistic approach was there.
Exactly. Individualistic it was. Yes.
Hmm.
ये
बढ़िया.
भैया कहीं कहीं ऐसा भी लगता है, नहीं आप जो कह रहे हो, जैसे मेरा अभी तक समीक्षा नहीं हुआ है, मैं यही सोच रही हूँ कि अनुभव यहाँ पे भी जो बाबा जी ने किया है एटम्स का, द व्हाट ही हैज सीन इन हिज प्रोसेस ऑफ दैट अनुभव, it is he who has seen, and he has been able to just give us the understanding through logical tark to it. So
Mm,
which is matching is because uh, there is some sort of no problems we are seeing right now.
mm,
Or it is in orderliness with the other, probably the other three orders that he is talking about.
mm.
बट हमने तो वो आत्मा का मतलब वो एटम को हमने देखा नहीं है, तो अनुभव वैसे तो किया नहीं है, हम तो सिर्फ वो जो कह रहे हैं उसको मान ही रहे हैं
No, but
कि
he has also said that Jivan is similar in all humans. So he has seen it other humans also. Isn't it so? It's not that
व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज भैया,
हाँ,
जो हम कह रहे हैं इन आइडियलिज्म,
हम्म,
वो इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक के लिए जाते थे एंड दे वर डूइंग दिस अनुभव क्रिया, ठीक है, उनका जो
हम्म,
भी वो गोल से गए,
हम्म,
पर उन्होंने कुछ अनुभव किया, मतलब उन्होंने कुछ देखा और समझा।
हम्म,
बट वो शायद हमने देखा है, मतलब हम समझ रहे हैं जिस बाबा जी जो कह रहे हैं, और वो तर्क विधि से हम उसको ठीक समझ रहे हैं, बट एज
हम्म,
सच वी हैव नॉट सीन दीज एटम्स और वी हैव नॉट सीन आर, तो वो तो
यस,
एक
यस,
तरह से
यस।
मेरे लिए तो रहस्य है ही।
नहीं, रहस्य
मतलब
ये दीदी तब तक है जब तक हम हमारा डेलिब्रेशन फिक्स अप नहीं होता ना। अभी डेलिब्रेशन तो प्रिय इतलाप पे ही है। तो हम आत्मिक आत्मा को देख कहाँ पाएंगे? वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू सी दैट। फर्स्ट लेट अस स्टार्ट लिविंग अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट बाबा जी हैज टोल्ड। Let us try to improve our 10 kriyas, 10 activities by living on the basis of that deliberation, which is justice, dharma, and truth. Let us start living that.
हम्म,
And what I have realized in recent last 3 4 months, that although I was in touch with this particular Madhyas Darshan from the last 1.5 year almost, but during the last 3 4 months, I have observed so many things which I am amazed about myself. How it is possible? How I was able to do that? But but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to live according to justice, dharma, and that truth. I have tried to improve all my relations. Those who were very difficult, they
हम्म,
were not happy with me. I tried to approach. I shed my ego and I approach them.
हम्म,
And slowly, everything is becoming very good.
हम्म,
So, Neelam Didi, when we will see that particular Atma or when we see that atom, when we will be living according to what Babaji has said. So that is justice, although this deliberation should be complete. So
हम्म,
let us try to do that. Then we'll see whether we are able to see that atom or not. There is a possibility that we will also see that atom
हम्म,
or something similar to that. So
हम्म,
that Shalini Didi is very sure of that, and I am also his disciple. मैं उनका शिष्य हूँ और मुझे भी ऐसे ही लगता है कि हाँ ये हो जाएगा। अब हम राइट डायरेक्शन में।
Great, great point of place to end also and also ponder. Right, great, बढ़िया. Yeah, we'll continue tomorrow also if there should.
I just wanted to say another thing. I mean, I think I have also had this question, but now that I look back, I think one of the ways that we can also confirm that the structure of the Jeevan is like that. Yeah, जो अणु का structure, that the structure of the atom is correct. Is that we can look for the proof, right? So even in science, whenever we are saying that this is the structure, this is a hypothesis, whatever we are looking for is the proof. And now, in this particular philosophy, the proof has been stated that if you do this, the results are going to be this. If this is done, then the result is going to be that. So,
Mm,
like Ganesh Bhaiya said, that if we are going to live out whatever the proof is, whatever we are supposed to do, and it fits and it works out, then we can say that what that another thing was, that was also true. The structure of
mm,
the atom was true. That is why these all things are happening and they are all working out. If that
mm,
doesn't work out, then we can question that maybe that structure itself was wrong, because the entire theory is based on that structure कि क्योंकि जो जीवन का structure है that is in this particular form, therefore it manifests in all of these manners, and if we live according to that, so things will be good, and there will be prosperity and happiness. So if we are able to
Wonderful.
attain happiness and prosperity, then that means that structure is okay.
mm,
Yeah, wonderful. Now I think we are getting synchronized at least, and
mm,
in future, yes. So you and me can do that research. Who
mm,
stops us? You know,
mm,
we will try our best. But whatever Neelam Didi is saying, when I started, I had the same kind of questions. ऐसे कैसे होता है? This is not possible. But slowly and slowly, let me see. Let me live according to that.
Let's look at
No?
the results, है ना?
Yes, that is the thing. That is the thing.
Let's apply the formula.
Wonderfully explained by Shivangi.
हाँ,
Yes.
बढ़िया.
Shivangi, you can say me Ganesh uncle also, not necessarily Bhaiya.
हाँ,
Yes.
Okay, okay.
बढ़िया. चलो, so we'll leave at this point and we have also other meetings to conduct. चलिए, बढ़िया. Namaste everybody. Have a good day.
Namaste. Good night, everyone.